Alright folks, welcome back to Mysterious JG. It's Let's Play Final Fantasy X. I'm a little annoyed with myself because I realized after I cut that last video, I went ahead and loaded a different save, and there's actually somewhat plot important dialogue that we miss because when I get to the next point where I started grinding, there's like one plot dialogue that we would miss if I jumped to there, and so I had to off-screen my way back to where we were from a save point that was like 2 cinemas back, and I'm annoyed, but it's my own fault. So my impatience with going through this just meant that I had to go through the part that you've already seen on screen again. But there's not too much more of this left, I don't think. I don't think. That's the problem. I didn't think. And that's why I'm having to do all this crap again. Oh, come on, Orin! Just leave! And that floating red thing, I don't think it can chase you. I'm surprised it can float at all. The Fungal certainly won't chase you. The only thing you could potentially have pursuing you is the damn lizard. I mean, if he gets killed, the battle still ends successfully. Well, not successfully, but I mean, the fact that the others managed to escape means that it's not game over. One guy gets stuck behind and dies. Anyway, now you can see I actually started recording again from a little earlier than I could have. Same.
It is an honor, Sir Orin.
Thanks.
Sarcastic asshole. Okay, we probably wouldn't have seen that dialogue otherwise, so that's nice. Really, the way he said that was just kind of mean. Thanks. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it didn't seem very genuine.
Lady Summoner, what are you doing here?
I go where I want to.
With your guardians near, you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
They run away constantly.
Don't say we shouldn't be using machina, not now, please.
I wasn't saying that. Fine, whatever. God damn it. It's like a couple steps away from me, another elevator, and boom. Sir Orin, it's not an honor if you're gonna be like that. Well, I better not run away. The Choco Knights will make fun of me if we keep running away. Somebody suggested that for Lulu's voice, I do Bobo's just hit puberty voice, and I'm not sure exactly what they meant by that. Does Bobo have a voice for male characters who just hit puberty, or for female characters who just hit puberty? Does somebody think that Bobo just hit puberty and that I should be doing an impression of Bobo? I don't really know. Maybe if I did this, I mean, I have to go back and listen to some of his stuff and try to listen for one of those female character voices. As Bobo's pointed out at some point, we pretty much have the same vocal cast that we can use. Get this Lady Summoner and grant us your help when the time comes. It's looking over the sea, but I just don't understand. Right. I think we can still encounter enemies here. Yep. It's probably hidden treasure in the nooks and crannies. This is not a game where the treasure you find in treasure boxes tends to be that useful. It's like 7th Saga. There's a set of treasures that could be found in treasure boxes, but the really big, important items are not. You don't find armor and stuff there usually. You can find that in this game, but usually it's like X potion or whatever. And if I felt like going and searching for more stuff, I'd want to do it after loading the game. But I probably already got all the treasure in that save slot. Last chance not to be a coward and actually fight these guys. Nah, but I'm still trying to run away, and it's not working. Yuna can't run away. I can't run away, baby. Forget it, I'll run. No, I'm braver than Sir Orin. I'm more of a man than he is. More of a dead man. Good luck, Yuna. Okay, she got out. this should be it. I should now be out of the range where I can have those kind of conversations. We secured the command center perimeter. Please take this precaution. So you saw the little guy running around there that I'm talking about as far as plot dialogue goes.
Why only you, sir? I want to fight too.
Orders are orders.
I'm not a cadet anymore, sir. Let me go with you and I'll prove it to them.
F you.
Guarding the command center is important too, you know.
Bad touch.
But I came all the way from Besaid to fight Sin, sir.
I know, but an order's an order. To your post, Crusader.
Backhands him.
But, sir!
Blitzball victory? Nah. That's not it. That's not the whole thing that we would have missed. There's still a bit more.
They let you through, huh?
I wouldn't have.
Kata deserves better.
He deserves the chance to die.
At least there's no chance he'll get hurt.
Yeah, good point.
Why are you guys fighting anyway? Aren't the almighty Al-Bhed machina enough?
They still need some time to get them ready. Our job is to keep Sin at bay till they're done.
Well, you're luring him here. Why don't you just wait until the machines are ready before you lure him? Okay, Waka, you just became retarded for a moment. More retarded.
Waka. I might not get another chance to say this.
I'm really
It's
into
about
you.
you, brother.
Luzu, no!
What?
I'm the one who convinced him to enlist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you kind of had that coming.
Waka!
It's the Cindy Sheehan response.
That's enough, Waka!
When we used to play Blitz together, Chapu used to say,
Hey, bro.
he said that when we won the cup, yeah, he proposed to Lulu.
It's his
And
way
then
of
one
putting
day,
it off.
He goes off and becomes a crusader, just like that.
Chapu also said to me that being with your girl is good. But keeping Sin far away from her is better.
Chapu's girl. Their hair that penetrates your shoulders.
Lou, you knew?
Luzu told me before we left.
She hit me too.
She's got weird skin
All
tone.
crusaders in the vanguard are to assemble on the beach.
Kind of an ashen gray.
That's my cue.
Luzu, don't die out there.
So you can hit me more?
Lots more.
Give you the running forearm, apparently.
Sir Luzu, please! Please don't go!
I have to, Yuna.
Because, in theory, they actually know each other from back in the day.
The man has already chosen his path,
Poor sucker.
as you did when you became a summoner.
Can't point out what's weird about this without spoiling something from the
It would be a long
future of
time
the story.
before I ever really understood the reason why Yuna let Luzu pass that
I
day.
could easily have knocked her over. Maybe that occurred to her. Anyway. Alright, now I can actually load a different game. Because that was the dialogue right there. And I tried not to talk too much, because that was actually pretty important character development for Kata to a certain degree, but a much greater extent for Luzu. And as I warned you, they kind of are not around for the entire game. I don't want you to speculate too much as to why, but oh, that's actually the wrong state I just loaded. But yeah, they like Wakka and Lulu before them. Wakka and Lulu's importance is trailed off, but not as much as by the end of the game. They really are just cursory background characters. But yeah, basically anybody who's involved with the Besaid portion of the story, other than Yuna herself, are not really going to be terribly important by the end of this thing. The further we get from Besaid, the less that the people that Yuna grew up with really matter to the story. And that was kind of the last big gasp for Luzu. He's just kind of not a big deal anymore. But we needed to find out a little bit more about Wakka, Lulu, and Chappu. Chappu will come up again before the game's over, but anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that stuff before I give something away without meaning to. I think at this point, I've spoiled it, but only in such a way that if you already knew the stuff that I'm spoiling, you'd be able to make reference to what I'm talking about. At any rate, so we jump ahead a bit, and you can see they've leveled up quite differently. Titus still doesn't have Flee, but he did get all this stuff in this path. Got some basic white magic stuff, including Life and Prey. He got a Life, I should try that sometime. And made his way over to get Steal and Use off Riku's path, which is nice, because it means that while just kind of grinding for levels, I was able to steal items. And got back onto his own path, and now at this point, he's making his way back to the beginning of his path, so then he can turn around and start heading down his path in the correct direction. At this point, he does not have haste, but he's very close to having haste. Lulu, she's supposed to start, like, here, with these already learned, and then make her way down here. But in fact, I brought her back this way, took her through some of the stuff in the middle, gave her some of Yuna's basic magic, and then got her back onto her own path. And actually, instead of learning Thundara, Blizzara, and Watera, she's actually backtracked through what she should have already picked up. And when she's done backtracking, she'll come back this way again. But I've got another save slot where I've grinded differently, so it's like, ugh, I don't know, there's a lot of off-screen grinding. Trying not to just constantly record, but really, my laptop and the emulated games are pretty much the only thing I've got to do for, you know, R&R time around here. And then Wakka's actually come closer than anybody else to just following his path properly. He's supposed to start here and just go on this kind of weird-looking path that he's got, and he's pretty much done that. He took a quick detour north to pick up Guard, which is an Oron skill, and he picked up some real basic Yuna, Secure and Asuna, that's it. But he's basically on his proper path where he should be. And he's recently learned the Drain spell. Yuna is, she picked up some real basic black magic, but otherwise she's just followed her path the way she's meant to. And within the next couple of levels, she would pick up Shell. Kamari's path is kind of... This has been really strange, actually. Did some middle stuff, picked up some basic Yuna spells, switched over, picked up the second-tier black magic spells without learning the original black magic spell. So he doesn't know Fire, Water, Ice, or Thunder, but he knows Vira, Watera, Blizzara, and Thundara, and then he made his way back. And now he's basically following Wakka's path backwards to the beginning of Wakka's path, at which point I think I was going to put him on Oren's path. So he's got a little bit of magic, but he's mostly learning physical stuff. And Oren picked up basic Cure and Asuna, like a lot of people. I made him get Steal and Use after Titus had already, like, broken the lock to get over here. So now Oren is a thief. But he's basically... He's learning Titus's path up to a point, and then I was going to cut back and put him on his own path. And that's it. So we could run back here and see some stuff on this path here. Like, is there hidden stuff? Okay, man, preparing for the worst. There's a little path over here that I think you can follow. This is probably, I think this is the only secret path. Doesn't quite one-hit kill it, but it's pretty close. It's the only reason I bothered to fight them, because I figured it would be much faster than it used to be. There's only one of them actually really got to attack. The sleep being inflicted didn't really hurt us any. It just means that Waka doesn't get to say anything cool here. But yeah, there's a little, like, if you curl around on this path here, I think there's like a treasure up here that I've now gotten, so it's not there anymore. And if you come back here, was there anything special, a secret or hidden, or am I just losing my mind? No, he can't flee. We need to bring in Orin to be able to flee, which is just silly. But Orin has the flee skill and Titus doesn't. I think. Is this takes us to a takes us down, yeah, because you can see this area on the mini-map while climbing around in other places. There's like treasure here that we've already gotten. So, you know what, forget it. Just, I'm not going to even fight my way back over there. Even though this is probably not any faster, but I'm just going to load the game. And I've kind of lost track of exactly when I started recording this video, so the video length of this one will probably be a little weird. But let's go up and start doing some Operation Mehen stuff. This is the control center here. It's apparently a machina elevator forbidden by Yevon. Yeah. A lot of elevators today, yeah. Sorry. And we are now... Ooh, there's really like serious music playing here. Mr. Serious Music. And can't cross over to whatever's going on over there. It makes it look like there's land you can get to, but I think that's actually the bottom of the cliff. Something be the something something finish sin off. Cannon got out of place when we fired a test shot, packed too much powder, I guess. Once it emerges from the sea, we'll commence firing. Our shots should set out long enough for the Al-Bhed machina to finish it off. Much to the chagrin of Shalinda and anyone else who's going to be a spokesperson of the Yevon Church in this game. We're only moments away from commencing Operation Mehen. The Spirit's fate hangs on the outcome of this mission. We will do our duty as soldiers and defeat sin this day. Sir! The captain just keeps repeating himself. He must be really nervous. Man, you think he shut up after 5 times, or was that 6? We will put our lives on the line! Yes, sir! Bullet witch, folks. You guys gonna talk to me? Talk to me. Don't talk to me. Come on, swing like a man. Do you want to avenge your sister, or don't you? Freaking giant voice. Hold on. Sorry, there's a big voice, which is just what they call the loudspeaker voice that comes on, and it's completely unintelligible. You never know what it's telling you. So hopefully it was just a test or something. I don't think we're under attack, but like, I have no idea what that thing was saying. We're inspecting the weapons right now, and your controller just freaked out on you. know about the cannons. The Al-Bhed provided us with these cannons at no charge. I hate the bastards, but I've got a little respect for them now. The cannons have good range. We'll give Sin a shower it won't soon forget. A shower of bastards. Only a select few can become chocobo knights. We have to be a highly skilled rider or achieve some combat merit to become one. Captain Lucille is no doubt the best of the bunch right now, which really doesn't speak well for them. I just don't know how that wimp Klasko got knighted. Well, he's good at earning their trust. The chocobos, that is. Operation. The goofy game for wacky doctors? Sorry, the wacky game for goofy doctors. Soon enough turns up where sin spawn are, so we hunted down the sin spawn in various places and brought them here to lure it. When it shows up, we're going to hit it with the ancient machina, and it's bye-bye sin. The Crusader responsibility is to lure sin and immobilize it. The Al-Bhed with a little bit of finishing blow. I wish it could be the other way around, but as long as we defeat sin, who cares? Yeah, it really shouldn't matter, buddy.
Welcome to Oakas.
Welcome to my voice sounds like weird. Now, I think this is the last point at which you can buy stuff from him at a discount. Like, this would normally cost more than that, I believe.
Welcome.
Like, cheap potions, cheap stuff. So you can see I've already stocked up to the max on everything. While grinding and taking advantage of the low prices. I think that person actually talks about Owaka. I'm short on various stuff, so I'm trying to buy them now. Everything seems a bit pricier than usual. Somebody else who really complains bitterly about it. I'm almost positive I remember an NPC like saying that this guy's gouging us. Well, I guess you should be thankful. I never thought we could buy stuff up here. Time to shop. No, I thought I remember the dialogue being a little bit more on the point than that.
The operation will begin shortly.
I don't care.
Please check all your equipment.
You alright?
Of course not. I came here to fight sin, but they stick me here.
If you want to prove yourself.
Huh?
First, you must complete the tasks you are given.
That's a good point. Something a lot of young people don't always tend to remember. I say that as having once been young myself, but if you're bitching about how you're not really being given cool stuff to do, you know, I guess in a military situation or any situation similar to that, yeah, you pretty much got to be able to succeed at the stuff they give you. Well, you know, he's just a kid, we'll give him something easy. Yeah, you got to be able to do that successfully before someone's going to spontaneously say, you know what, that kid deserves a shot. We're going to give him something big. I'm going to cast him in my film, The Creeping Kid. So. Anyway, folks, coming up, very important dialogue decision.
Just doing what they say just won't be enough.
Yeah, you should be out on the front lines or guarding the command center is important too. This will affect something later. So let's try... I would think the responsible thing to say is guarding the command center is important too.
You'd think the same if you were me. I'll do something, even if it means bending the rules. I've got to show Luzu. I've got to show...
And you have to... It's actually sort of an outcome of this dialogue tree that the game wants, and you have to really insist on one path before it will change his actions. But as you can tell, he's thinking about going out there and fighting on the front lines.
That's right. It's not fair.
And if you agree with him that he should do it,
even if it means bending the rules.
You have to do that twice.
That's right. It's not...
For some reason,
I've got to show...
You have to do it twice before it will actually change anything. But I typically go with... I just try to think of what would you actually say here. And what Oren said actually made sense to me. I don't know that Titus would agree. But,
You'd think the same if you were me.
And this is pretty much, if you don't say anything to him, events unfold the way that they would if you encourage him to do the responsible thing and carry out his guard duty and not run around trying to be a hero. Like, Billy, don't be a hero, don't be a fool with your life. Oh, I'm hungry.
I had heard from Seymour, but I didn't know if we'd actually
Oren
meet.
looks really uncomfortable with that.
Good to see you, Oren. 10 years, is it?
My huge boobs have nothing to say.
That's when Kinok, one of the four maesters of Yevon. He leads the warrior monks, and also commands the Crusaders.
I can hear you talking about me over there, by the way.
All troops ready to move at your command, sir.
Good. Dismissed.
Sir.
Tell me, Orin, where have you been the last 10 years?
We don't have time for this now, do we?
Watching Titus as he sleeps.
This plan won't work. You know that. We'll just let them dream a little longer.
Longer with Big Red.
Lord Keenock.
Shut the F up.
Oh, yes. Proceed.
Proceed with your creepiness, Seymour.
That Keenock a maester?
I heard that, Orin.
Wow.
A lot has happened.
Sorry, that's a weird little moment. I mean, typically, yeah, the people will be talking in a game like this, and then spontaneously, instantly, they'll teleport around and not be talking to each other anymore, so a new piece of dialogue can start. But the game kind of takes advantage of it. Orin thinks he has privacy, though in fact the guy never actually left. So he's like, I heard that. What the hell, man?
The last 10 years? What were you doing and where?
Fulfilling a promise I made to a friend. I still am.
We're friends. You promised me you'll tell me what you were doing?
Just tell me one thing. Have you seen Zanarkand?
Cryptic laugh.
I kinda think we don't belong here.
Let's go find the backseat of a car and park in the woods.
We must tell the Al-Bhed waiting outside to begin the operation at once.
She just looks sad. It's like they're gonna defeat Sin and I won't get to be the hero.
This place is not safe. I'm sure you're prepared to defend yourselves. Tell me when you're ready.
Pardon me. She really does just look depressed that after all this work, she's not going to get to be the hero if the Al-Bhed and the Crusaders defeat Sin. Now, I don't know, folks. You think the Al-Bhed and the Crusaders are going to be able to defeat Sin? Be kind of a short Final Fantasy game if they can. Maybe they will, and then the Al-Bhed and the Crusaders together will grow mad with power, and we'll have to defeat them. I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities for the story with them actually defeating Sin. There's no reason to assume that this is going to fail, just so that it's built up as Sin is an even more dangerous opponent for us to have to defeat. So who do we want to talk to first? I think Yuna's cuter than Lulu. And they both wear ridiculous fantasy costumes, but, you know, Lulu going around wearing a corset 24/7 is just a little more ridiculous.
I'm a little nervous.
You're a little summoner.
I'm a little nervous.
You're kind of short. Actually, you know, I hadn't really noticed that, but Lulu appears to just, like, loom over Yuna. She's closer to us and still just as tall. I'd never really stopped and started comparing them directly before just now. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Anything could happen. Make sure you're ready for combat. Anything could happen.
Don't appear to have great affinity with either of them because I'm only getting one dialogue for each.
Go to Yuna.
I don't understand why Orin seems to have a vested interest in them getting together. I don't think that ever becomes clear.
Go to Yuna.
There was a scene earlier where he's like, you know, if you tell Yuna about Jack, she will distance herself from you. We do not want that. But why? Got nothing for you, baby. Go talk to Waka. You guys are worth each other. I mean, you guys deserve each other. I don't know. You're both lame compared to me. I'm awesome, man. Woo.
With them here, it's like Yevon authorizes his whole operation.
That's really interesting, Waka. I'm going to be polite and not remind you that I couldn't give a rat's ass about Yevon.
With them here.
And Titus at this point doesn't have anything against Yevon, he just sort of doesn't care about them. We have the ancient machina. The something's operation will succeed. Alright. Yeah, that's my little Wheel of Fortune routine there. The machina, something, something, something. Yevon's teachings are a bunch of crap. Basically.
Are you ready? Please hurry.
Are you ready?
Being a maester has its privileges. I can just sit here and watch.
You're kind of a jerk, aren't you?
Being a maester has its privileges.
Yeah, I don't really think we're meant to particularly like Maester Keenock. He goes up and hugs Orin, who doesn't hug him back at all. Not that Orin would, even if it was like his best friend ever. But Orin just kind of blew him off completely, and then he said something about how the operation will fail, but he will just let them dream. So I get the impression we're just not meant to like him. Let's see if we can have a word with Seymour.
Are you ready?
Seymour would appear to be outside of the area that we can interact with without triggering the next thing. So, I don't know. This video may be on the short side, it might be on the long side. I totally lost track, but I'm going to call it a video here. Maybe do one more video tonight. So, when we come back, folks, they told us to be ready. Apparently, we're just going to watch Operation Mehen. I don't know what we need to be ready for, but this is an RPG, so we'll probably end up in some kind of battle. We'll see about that next time. But yeah, coming up next, folks, I kind of joked around and hinted at the story possibilities coming out of Operation Mehen, but if you're just playing the game and you're not doing like, you know, the guys I used to know in film school always used to do, where you're second-guessing everything and trying to figure out where the story's going before it gets there, we are at kind of an interesting dramatic point in this. Somebody else is going to try to take care of our enemy for us. And that could have some interesting consequences, whichever way it goes. We'll see next time whether the Al-Bhed and the Crusaders can defeat Sin. And if they can, well, then there's nothing standing between Yuna and Titus and complete happiness and the bliss that they could have together, which Orin, for some reason, seems to be encouraging in his creepy, cryptic way. This is Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to find out whether the Al-Bhed and the Crusaders can get the job done. Bye-bye.